try the new Cotton Candy Marlboro Reds. Can we not get Tyus Jones on this team?
Well,
I will buy his plane ticket.
I think
I'll pay first month's rent on
he
his
would be a
apartment here.
perfect fit.
Maybe invest in some condoms. You want this in the front?
We can do it in the back. Do you want to do it in the back?
We could destroy someone's bodily functions.
You can destroy someone's
their
life
life.
with one fart.
With one fart.
You're just a little premature there, Matt.
Sorry. Spitting venom early.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is episode 28 of the podcast. First and foremost, I want to thank everyone who has listened and downloaded and been a part of this journey. It's been over a year. Number one, round of applause. Whoop, whoop. And we just passed 800 total downloads. So that's really exciting. Really do appreciate all of that. We have a fun one tonight, we think. We'll just kind of see where it goes.
What's your definition of fun?
Well, after the game we're watching right now, it's we'll see how we ride this roller coaster.
Can you set the scene for everybody at the moment so that when they hear us talking, they can understand where the anger and violence is coming from?
Timberwolves are currently playing Game 5 of the Western Conference Finals against Oklahoma City.
I don't know if you'd call it playing.
Yeah, true. We can get to that.
They're there.
And we were going to watch the game as a group and then podcast afterwards. They are currently getting beat by what? 30?
33.
33. So we decided to hop on at halftime and start talking about this mess. So there's the scene.
Yeah, there's the scene. Well, yeah.
So if Matt starts just rambling on about random stuff over there, or Trevor starts to go silent, you know why. I'll try to keep this ship moving in the right direction.
Give us something fun to talk about first, all right?
I am going to give you guys something fun to talk about.
We can get into something bad later, a.k.a. the Timberwolves. Let's actually talk about something fun.
Something fun. Let's talk about it tonight. We are going to go over Scottie Scheffler, career highlights. What that guy's doing right now, let me just start by this. What the guy's doing right now for the game of golf, how he's playing, how he holds himself, besides being arrested once. Which
we really shouldn't be glorifying a felon like this.
You're right.
He wasn't a felon.
He was not a felon.
He's just a regular criminal.
He's a regular criminal who went to jail before a major championship and then ended up winning that major championship.
And I just don't know if we want somebody like that representing the game of golf.
Probably
but that's
not.
A whole other conversation.
But we're going to talk about him. You guys don't watch golf rounds, do you? Are you guys actually like sitting down in front of the TV on Master Sunday or Friday, Thursday, whatever?
Only when you put it on.
Okay, so yeah, that makes sense. Are you watching much?
I've got like majors on in the background, but no, I'm not grinding out the San Diego Open or like the waste management thing or anything like that. You know, I'm not putting the grind like that. I have a child at home, so I can't dedicate 18 hours to watching golf. Just can't do it.
The broadcasts are just absolutely crazy long. Scottie Scheffler, in my opinion, right now is our generation's Tiger Woods on this run that he is on over the last 4 years.
You don't think
especially
Tiger Woods
last
is
year.
Our generation's Tiger Woods?
Yeah, I was like,
I don't.
For people of a... Correct me if I'm wrong. We're all in our 30s here.
We are in our 30s, but like, okay,
Tiger Woods was definitely our Tiger Woods.
Let me go back. Tiger Woods is Tiger Woods in this generation. From when I picked up golf and really started watching it, I didn't really watch Tiger Woods. I didn't watch him in his prime. I didn't watch him do all that stuff. Now I actually like, okay, is Scottie playing this weekend? I'm going to watch because it is fascinating.
I got you. Didn't mean to criticize.
No, you're good. That's a good point. Tiger Woods is our generation's Tiger Woods. Obviously, I don't think anyone's going to touch his win record. But Scottie's been doing just some wild stuff, especially last year.
Maybe Scottie is this generation's VJ Singh. Did you ever think about that?
Where are you going with this?
VJ Singh. Everybody loves VJ Singh.
Everyone loves VJ.
Yeah.
VJ actually had a really, really good career.
He's the Bob Burnquist.
Oh, my goodness.
Tiger Woods golf.
Gosh.
You think about that?
Think
about that for a minute.
Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Exactly.
Bob Burnquist.
Because you weren't allowed to be Tony Hawk. You had to be Bob Burnquist.
You had to be Bob first, right? Didn't you have to unlock Tony Hawk?
No, he was always a player, but he was always too good.
Why couldn't you be him?
Because you have to be somebody else.
Okay, Bob Burnquist.
Because if you get Tony Hawk, it's like Michael Vick in 07, man. Taylor, how does this relate to Scottie Scheffler?
How does this relate to Scottie Scheffler?
I'm taking us down a dark path.
That's okay. So 21-22, he won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times with a Masters tournament win, and he won the Arnold Palmer, which is considered a really good high-level tournament. Won the Phoenix Open, won a World Golf Championship, and then he was also the PGA Tour Player of the Year. The next year, 22-23, he won PGA Player of the Year, won a Players Championship, which is considered the 6th major, 5th major, 6th major? Yeah, 6th major, which is outstanding. And then he also won the Phoenix Open again, which we need to go to the Phoenix Open.
No.
Come on.
You want to talk about people getting arrested?
We're not going to get arrested. We need to go.
They had to stop serving alcohol. That's how bad it was there.
Yeah, we should go.
Oh, God. Okay. All right. Well, we can talk about it. The podcast could pay for it, right?
Yeah.
Waste management. If you guys are interested, I know I canceled my garbage service with you guys because you're criminals. But if you guys want to sponsor the podcast and fly us down, we'll definitely come.
Yeah.
What could possibly stop them from doing it now?
Exactly.
Of course.
23-24, last year he went off. Arnold Palmer, Players, Masters, RBC, Heritage. He won the Memorial Tournament, which is actually coming up this weekend. He won the Travelers PGA Tour Championship, Hero World Championship, which is Tiger's tournament, and then he was also Player of the Year again. The dude is just on fire. And he was winning. He wasn't just like, oh, I'm going to win by 1 or 2 shots. He was crushing people. And then this year so far, he has a gold medal in Paris. He's won the Byron Nelson, and then he's also won the PGA Championship, which was a major. So, I don't know. It's a damn good resume for someone who kind of just came on the scene over the last 3 years.
And I mean, even to like Ryder Cups, he's been a part of that already.
Yep.
And I think
he went part of the Ryder Cups.
He went pro in 2019.
Yes,
I believe.
I think so.
So he's on a run. If we want to do a cross sport reference here, I feel like he is kind of like the Jokic of like golf right now.
Oh yeah, that's a good comparison. I like that.
Where it's just like undeniably great. Everybody kind of universally loves him.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's hard not to say single-handedly winning things on his own, but like kind of elevating the game that he plays in a way that no other player is doing at this moment. Like nobody else plays like Jokic.
No.
And nobody else plays like Scottie. I know.
No, you're right.
I know Rory had a really great moment at the Masters and everything like that, but that was on its way to disaster in the final round before having some pretty clutch moments in the end.
Yes, it was. It was on the way to disaster again. I'm like, Rory, don't F this up.
But Scottie, when he plays, he feels like a bulldozer.
Yeah.
Like nothing can stop him.
No.
Like he gets that lead and then it is just completely over.
And
way different than his peers.
He just does his own thing too. I don't think he gets too caught up in what other people are doing, what the leaderboard looks like. Like if he misses a shot or if he has a bogey or whatever it is, he's always like, okay, what's that next shot? And that's what golf is. I feel like a lot of golfers, including myself, I'm nowhere near that level, never will be near that level. I'm not comparing myself to Scottie Scheffler, but golf is so...
Yeah. Now, Trevor is right there.
Trevor's right
there.
Might as well show up one of these days.
Scottie Scheffler would hate to see you come.
Yeah. I didn't want to say it live on the podcast, but we said it. Trevor's right there, talent level wise. Golf is one of those it's so frustrating. It is so frustrating at times.
Unless you're really fucking good.
Yeah. Imagine, Matt, what would you do?
What would I do?
Would you keep what if you were that good?
Oh,
Trevor and I are what we are right now. How many strokes would you give us?
How many strokes did you give me that one time we played? 1 a hole?
Why would you even add me in
20.
it? It's just you.
No, I gave you...
Did you give me 20
I think
strokes?
I gave you 20. I gave you 18 plus 2.
I would give you guys like 35 strokes.
If you were that
I was
good?
As good as Scottie.
Gosh.
Like, honestly.
And we're still playing best ball between us. Otherwise, I'm not even there for any reason at all.
Dude, we'd still get smoked.
Yeah, for sure.
But does Scottie Scheffler move the needle in golf like the Tigers, the Jack Nicklauses, the Arnold Palmers, even like the Phil Mickelsons of the world? Does he move the needle? Because he is not the rest aside, from that whole scenario.
That was at last year's PGA Championship.
You don't hear anything about him.
No.
Like, he's not that much of a public-facing person. He doesn't have the YouTube presence like the fake Bryson DeChambeau person. Kind of keeps to himself. I did watch the video of him and Grant Horvat together, and that was interesting to hear him talk about it. But seems like a pretty reserved guy.
He is.
Never got really outlandish about the live stuff like Rory did and some of those other guys that are PGA lifers. But is that the guy that is going to elevate the game of golf for young people? Because right now it feels like that's stuck in the YouTube zone.
It is. This is a great question.
Like, is he going to be able to bring that up? Now, if he just keeps dominating and being a trailblazer and then maybe getting to those levels of like the Tiger Woods, then it will just be automatic.
I think he's moving the needle a little bit on what you're trying to say. You said it perfectly. Golf right now it's not stuck. It is trending in a very good direction for men, women, youth, retirees, everyone. YouTube is doing that. YouTube is solely doing that. Now the PGA Tour figured that out. Live has figured that out, and they're actually backing some of these creators or some of these good YouTube golfers. Grant Horvat has a very prominent face on the PGA Tour, or with the PGA, I should say, not the PGA Tour. The Bryan Bros, I know you don't like them much. You don't really watch them, but they're also pretty prominent with the PGA. Honestly, Bob Does Sports is getting more recognition with the PGA because they know that's where it's at.
Yeah,
and that's what the kids are watching.
Fits in more with like when the kids start watching these YouTube things. If the more you get into golf, then the more you recognize the other side as well.
Right.
Yeah. But Scottie's been on YouTube. Sergio Garcia's been on YouTube. There's other up-and-coming players that have been on YouTube. Max Homa, Colin Morikawa, all these guys who are really big names in the PGA world. I think people, kids, men, women, whoever's watching the YouTube stuff right now is seeing that, and they're like, okay, I'm going to watch that guy. Oh, I saw him on YouTube. I'm going to go watch him.
Yeah.
I think that's how he's moving the needle.
He has an opportunity, and he doesn't have to act like he's Jason Day and wear crazy outfits. He doesn't have to have a big marketing presence. He doesn't have to do anything outside of like the regular stuff he's doing.
No.
If he shows up and just wipes the floor with people, and he is wiping the floor with people. Like, there are people that, even in the last day of a tournament, they're not even coming close to him.
Yeah.
From the very start. Then it will all figure itself out in due time. And he won't need to have a giant presence here or there or anything like that. But how is that going to attract other people to actually enjoy golf? Because Tiger had that.
Tiger had that aura around him. Yeah, he was.
Tiger still has that?
He does.
Yeah, I don't
Tiger
know.
look
at the 2019 Masters.
Oh, yeah.
That was unreal. Like, I was like shaking watching that for him. I was like, you're never going to see this again. You're never going to see what he just did again at that age.
He's half robot now.
And it was Tiger. I was like, man, that's unreal. So I think golf is in a good place. I think the right players are at the face of golf, even if they are pretty darn reserved. I honestly think YouTube is going to do more good for golf right now than these big-time, huge players like Scottie Scheffler. And I know you don't like him. Bryson is pretty prevalent up there. Max Homa, Ricky Fowler's still up there. Spieth, Rory's back now that he won his career Grand Slam. People are off his ass, and now they're like, oh, we can like him again because he won the Masters. So I don't know.
The game of golf is good. Again, I don't have the time to invest in watching a lot of it.
Yeah.
With the other things that I enjoy doing, like living a normal life.
Yeah.
But it's good to have somebody dominant like this.
Yeah, it's fun to watch.
It's good to have somebody that can push other people.
Because then for two people who don't watch golf, maybe not you, because you won't watch it unless I watch it, unless I'm wrong, you would turn it on in the background, like you said, though, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
If Scottie's in contention on Sunday, you're like, I'm going to turn this on and see what happens.
Yeah, just because I again, as somebody who golfs, I want to be able to see those people play. It's the same thing of growing up. our baseball coach, I remember him saying, you can drill all this stuff, you can practice all this stuff, but you actually need to watch how the professionals do it.
Yeah.
You need to just focus in on people's batting stances, how their hands come through the zone.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a pitcher, like what kind of a step, what kind of consistency. You have to see all that stuff. Now, Scotty's a little different. You cannot replicate his swing.
No.
So don't even try to do that, because I tried jokingly to do it on the range one time, and it felt like I had a herniated disc afterwards.
Did you try to mimic his swing, or did you try to mimic his follow-through? Because his swing, his backswing, and like everything is really nice, and then the follow-through is just, who knows what he's doing.
I tried to do the full Scotty.
You did? Oh.
I tried.
What's the problem?
Did you blow
probably accidentally change everything when you just try to change even the...
Did you blow an ACL?
No. Like I said, my lower back is feeling it after just one attempt with my driver. But
love it.
But like it's also for that, it's just fascinating to watch how these different guys have these different swings, but they play their swing.
Yep.
And I know he's had coaching and has been a professional, was probably on a bunch of different things, but like him just like locking in on that and just dominating is crazy. Yeah, as unorthodox as it is.
Before we jump into the main topic tonight, I just want to reiterate, like, winning a PGA championship, winning a gold medal, then also getting Player of the Year 1, 2, 3 times, potentially going for a 4th. He's won 1 Masters tournament, 2 Players tournaments. Like, the dude is not, he's not just winning these, the San Diego Open. Like,
right.
He's not winning these tournaments where it's like, okay, no one's in the field. He's winning elevated, top-notch tournaments by a lot. So it's some fun stuff. It's interesting to watch, and I like where golf is going. Is that going to change my swing and get me better? Hell no, but maybe one day.
But you never know.
You're right. You never know.
You study the Masters.
I will.
Not the actual event, the Masters, but the Masters of golf.
Yeah.
You see how they go through things.
Yeah.
And some of those explainer videos are pretty nice.
They are.
Like the Tiger explainer videos where he brings on guys like Scottie and Rory and like Nelly Korda and like those kind of people.
Yeah.
It is actually pretty helpful.
You want to get good at golf? Watch women's golf.
All fundamental technique.
100% fundamental, down the middle, 280 yards, onto the green, 2-putt, par. And then you have someone like Nelly Korda, and then I can't remember, Charlie Hall or Charlie Hill.
Yeah, so she just chain smoked cigarettes. Maybe that's
no,
what I need.
Quit. She quit.
She's a quitter.
She
Come
quit.
on.
But what did she start? I think she started dipping a little bit.
Oh.
She needed something.
Just smoke cigarettes.
She needed
Kids,
something.
Smoke cigarettes. This message brought to you by Marlboro.
It was the best when
not a
she would
sponsor,
be,
but
try the new cotton candy Marlboro Reds.
She'd be signing
today.
interviews for like kids and stuff, and then it would just be hanging out of her lip. I'm like, what do you? No, not the cigarette.
Yeah,
not the dip, the cigarette.
Please,
I'm like, man. But watch women's golf. You want to get good at golf? Watch women's golf. It is so fundamentally good looking. It's like, my goodness, their swings are unreal. I don't understand.
Go Scottie Scheffler.
Go Scottie Scheffler.
Go Scottie Scheffler.
All right, we've talked a little bit about golf. We are going to jump into the NBA playoffs. We are currently in the conference finals. Conference finals on the West are Oklahoma City and the Minnesota Timberwolves, and then on the East we have the Pacers and Knicks.
Yeah.
Before that, Pacers handled the Cavs. Handled them pretty darn easily. And then the Knicks gave it to the Celtics because the Celtics couldn't make a darn shot. Let's touch on that quick, and then we're going to jump into what we got going right now in both of these series. Both teams, well, the Pacers are up 3-1, and then Oklahoma City is unfortunately up 3-1 too. So what do you guys got?
I mean, with the Pacers-Knicks series, because that's also 3-1 after historic Tyrese Haliburton game, like
30, 12, 0, 15, no turnovers.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Third player in history to do that. I think it was
the first in the playoffs, though.
Yeah, first in the playoffs. It was Jokic did it, and then one guy did it twice, like someone in Hakeem Olajuwon's era. I can't remember who it was.
It was Jokic and Harden.
It was James Harden?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was someone older.
Well, it's a very specific stat line. It's 30, 15, and 10.
Yeah. Oh, it is.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Never mind then.
So, so Haliburton...
With 0 turnovers, too.
With 0 turnovers.
That's unreal.
So Haliburton had 32, 15, and 12 in Game 4 yesterday. And, I mean, he's obviously been on fire for this entire this entire playoffs.
Yeah.
And Indiana's been, I think I can speak for all of us here when I say an absolute fun team, and we're so glad that they are actually finding success and that they are.
Yep.
I mean, they're gonna go to the NBA Finals unless something historically insane happens with this Knicks series.
They're not going to lose 3 games.
I
sure hope not.
There's not a chance they lose 3 games.
Very, very shocking. But I mean, just talking about like the Pacers and who they've run through. So they ran through the Bucks. Now a dameless Bucks, but they still had Giannis to contend with. And then they didn't just beat the Cavs last series. They embarrassed them.
Mm-hmm. Best team in the league. Embarrassed them.
The one that Matt claimed was winning the finals.
I did say the Cavs were going to make the finals.
Oh, you didn't. Oh, yeah, you said OKC.
He did say make it.
But just the way that the Pacers have, and I don't want to reduce it by saying like they might have a horseshoe up their butt, and they might just be incredibly lucky here. But now watching this Knicks series, aside from Game 1, aside from the craziness in Game 1, which
do you know how long that horseshoe's been up there?
It's been up there for a while.
That's the truth.
But like, really, really insane to watch them be like this heart attack team. But then also put in games like yesterday where they just fundamentally destroy the Knicks.
Yeah.
They just fundamentally, team basketball, boring, like, you could almost
not boring.
compare
They're
them.
So fast-paced. They just play the right way and take the right shots. But
So fast and take advantage of every kind of turnover.
They're fundamentally fast, which I enjoy.
That's my favorite type of basketball. For anyone who enjoys and grew up playing basketball, this is what you should like to see. They're playing it the right way.
They run at the pace they run. They don't really dictate. They don't rely on the other team. But like if it's not there, they're very good at pulling it out, running a set,
and they
wasting
use all their players. They're not forcing anything.
They waste. They don't waste. They run a good set for, I don't know, 10, 15 seconds, and then they do NBA basketball. They ISO, and then they go to the hole, and they make stuff.
Pacers are nearly 50% from the floor, 37% from 3, and are averaging 20 points per game this series. And they're getting out rebounded. And that's, I will say, has been a shift from the Knicks side of things,
that's
which
wild.
I will say is part of the problem that I've had with the Knicks in this playoffs is they don't really know what their lineups are, and they are mixing things up by putting Mitchell Robinson over Josh Hart because Josh Hart has been moved to the bench the last couple games.
He fouled out last game with like 5 points and 5 turnovers.
But they bring in Mitchell Robinson with Cat because they want to dominate the rebounding game. Okay, so the Pacers are losing the rebounding game by about like 6 rebounds, like this entire series. Nothing crazy. But they're averaging almost 26 assists per game, and they have almost 20 less turnovers than the Knicks do in this series.
Yeah.
Fundamental. Take efficient shots, move the ball around, don't turn the ball over.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's all you need.
And that's even more impressive for how fast they play.
And
it's even more impressive seeing that.
Yeah.
It's an easy comparison, but it is kind of like the Steve Nash 7 seconds or less group, like the Paul Westphal Lakers with Magic Johnson. Like,
was that Steve Nash, Amari Stoudemire, and then who was their coach?
Sean Marion. And
D'Antoni?
D'Antoni, yeah.
Yeah, that was run and gun.
But maybe that's not a fair comparison because I don't think the Pacers team is close to what the Suns and the Lakers were or of their era or anything like that.
I like the thought though.
But just they get out and move, and that's because they have a A+ ball handler and distributor in Tyrese Haliburton, who I think we need to have a discussion if he's a top 10 player in the NBA if they make the finals.
He's averaging 24, 11, 7, and 2 steals
against a Knicks team, which is a Tom Thibodeau coached defensive, hard-nosed. They have a ton of wings. They traded for Mikal Bridges, and they are putting this Knicks team to shame, defensively speaking. And the Knicks aren't doing anything that wrong. They're not doing anything that wrong. They're just getting outplayed. So I mean, Brunson, he's getting his shots. 33 points per game in the series. Lovely. Cat, 25 points per game. Lovely.
Yeah, can't ask for much
more.
more.
I Anunoby's playing well. Bridges is kind of a no-show. Like, they're bailing on some of these guys. Like Miles McBride, didn't even play last game. Like, they pretty much took him out. Campaign and Precious, Achua, like they're not playing all that much. And again, this is a Knicks team that did not have a bench going into the playoffs, going into the season, and now it's even less. Now they're really only playing like a 6-man rotation, because
wild.
they can't trust these guys.
Which is wild.
And then you have Indiana, who is like, yeah, why not? We'll throw 10 guys in the first quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Don't care. We'll throw Thomas Bryant, who I had no idea was still in the NBA, and I looked up his basketball reference. He has been season healthy scratches. Not game healthy scratches. Seasons healthy scratches. That's how bad Thomas Bryant has been. But he's putting in big minutes because Indiana can say, all right, you're going to bring in 2 bigs, Cat and Mitchell Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
Fine.
Yep.
We can have Miles Turner, Pascal Siakam, Thomas Bryant. We can do some sort of a rotation of this. It's good. It's just good team building.
Yeah, it is.
Siakam fun to watch too.
Deserves a lot of credit.
He deserves a lot of credit.
And
25, 4, and 3, averaging 25 points. Man.
And he's another guy. He just doesn't force anything. He just gets his points when he can.
I think you could even point to them and say, like, they're sort of like that Toronto team that Pascal was on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have the Marc Gasol defensive anchor.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously,
they don't have
even
Kawhi.
though they don't have Kawhi.
They definitely do not have
But
that.
they do have an ace scorer, a guy that you can trust with a shot in the end of the game. They have these role players that step up and really play
they have
hard.
2 guys that have been insane in the clutch.
Right.
Like Naismith and
and
Haliburton.
You just have, it's more of a collection of these guys that are just playing out of their minds.
Yeah.
Everybody's bought in. Nembhard would be a guy, if he was in Charlotte, would be completely like a 25 per game scorer. But on this team, he has more of a reserve role, and he still plays well. Ben Shepherd, who looks like he's 55 years old with his little mustache, plays clutch minutes in game 1 and is the reason why they got a turnover late in the game to move the ball back and set up Haliburton for that insane shot. Mm-hmm. Like there's so much to this team that I think we can look back on it many, many years from now and be like, God, I can't believe the Pacers won that finals. And you look at the team and you're like, well, absolutely I can. This is just a solid foundational team that knows exactly what their identity is, are going to go out and execute, and they're also not a team that is going to sacrifice their players to try to grab a star.
And it's been consistent for the last 2 years.
Right.
Pacers have not lost a consecutive game since March 10th this year.
Now you can't. In the reverse of that, you can't say that what the Knicks did was not important to them. They made the Eastern Conference Finals, and the Knicks have been bad our entire lifetimes.
Yeah, they've been real bad.
For 30 years, they have not been a team that you're like, oh, of course. I mean, Melo had some years and whatever, and Starks and Ewing and whatever. But in general, like, you can't say that that's not a great way to build a team.
No,
But you can point to them and say, the way Brunson plays is damaging to your efforts when you are constantly trying to get to the line, not distributing the ball. He's only averaging about 5 assists a game. And you try to play this ISO ball.
Mm-hmm.
There is no ISO ball for the Pacers. It's ball movement.
No.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And I know there will be the topic of small market teams and how the NBA wishes it would have been, Knicks and Knicks and Lakers, or Knicks and Lakers and Celtics, or whatever big market teams. But if you're like a true basketball fan, or you want to get into basketball, we'll get to the Thunder in a minute here. Thunder Pacers should get you excited. This was
Knicks Pacers.
Knicks,
Thunder's Pacers final.
Thunder Pacers should be one of the most exciting team-based.
Okay.
You should
correctly played basketball.
Extremely excited to watch that. And that was kind of my thing of why I really wanted to see Thunder Cavs, because all year, until they didn't, the Cavs were just an incredible group of guys that did play that way. But
they do, but they also rely a lot on the 3, where these other 2 teams are heavy driving teams.
But it turned into Donovan Mitchell hero ball, averaging 40 points per game, and being like, well, I got to put the whole team on my back because some guys are injured right now.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. We didn't see that.
Which is nice to see. It's a change of pace from the last decade before, where it's LeBron against a good team out of
and then
with the Warriors. The Warriors were the good team, but that's the only one.
But even if you look back at the Celtics last year, I understand that Tatum and Brown had incredible postseasons, but that was a team collective effort.
Yeah,
the team collectively playing as a complete unit, and you can point to this as why the Celtics got their butts handed to them against the Knicks. They did not play as a cohesive unit.
No,
they tried hero ball, threes, all that kind of stuff, and it never worked.
It was so disjointed. Like, it was just everything they did in the regular season went out the door. They just went, all right, let's see if we can do ISO stuff. So
I know we're kind of crowning and passing the Pacers on to the next round here, and I don't know how you guys feel about them as an actual NBA Finals contender, if they're going to win or not. But I want to go back to that Haliburton question. When they get to the finals here, you put him as a top 10 player or not?
Right now in the league?
Right now in the league.
I think he has to, in my mind, he's playing at that level, yes. But he has to come out next season and do exactly what he's doing right now, pretty much.
No, today.
Who are the other 9 you're putting up there with him?
Yeah,
okay.
That's the
Jokic, SGA, Anthony Edwards, Luka.
Yep.
I think you could throw Jalen Brunson in there as well.
You could probably throw Tatum in there somewhere before he got hurt.
Yeah, Tatum pre-injury. Donovan Mitchell. You want Donovan Mitchell or Tyrese Haliburton?
This last year.
So
you could probably put both of them in there.
You would put Donovan Mitchell above that.
So you're just considering, though, like how he's playing this second.
Right now.
Yes, he's a top 10 player.
Right now, how this is going
easily.
right
Everyone
now.
you just named,
No
I
doubt
like
about
that list.
But you go into next season. You start next season, and they get to the NBA Finals, whether they win or not. I think Haliburton has to be in that top 10 conversation, and I think he's got to be in that. There are 3 guards in the NBA that everybody wants, and he's one of them.
Oh, well, guards-wise,
sure.
easy.
Like, honestly, I think, like, SGA, Ant, Haliburton, I think are the 3 guys that you might want.
And then I'd even mess with
Edwards last of those 3.
I would even mess with Mitchell. I would put Edwards before Donovan Mitchell, but I would put Mitchell up there after seeing what he did all year.
But
right.
Guard-wise.
Sure. Okay, so we're counting like point guards, shooting guard.
Yeah,
okay.
a guard type.
And I also want to put like a career retrospective on Rick Carlisle, because it never made sense to me when he got axed from Dallas.
No.
This is a guy who he took over the Detroit Pistons after or he was with the Detroit Pistons when they had that, Ben Wallace, Rasheed Wallace, that group, whatever. Then Flip took over the team and ended up winning a championship.
He won a championship with Detroit?
No, Flip Saunders did.
Flip. Yeah. Okay, got you.
Then he went to Indiana, actually, for a short time, and then he went to Dallas, and then back to Indiana. But he's got almost 1,000 career regular season wins.
He won in Dallas, right?
He won in Dallas in 2011 over your beloved Heat.
Boo.
So just, like, talking about him is, like, it felt like he kind of fell off because he went from Dallas, big market team, with a lot of flash and whatever, and ended up going to Indiana, which...
It just took him a couple of years.
They haven't really gained any sort of traction. Yeah. Hopefully now they'll gain some traction and look pretty good.
Just thinking back quickly on the all of his teams, they play that same style. Look when he had Jason Kidd, and in 2011 he had Kidd, Nowinski, and...
Jason Terry, baby.
Terry, yeah. Who else?
Tyson Chandler.
So they had pieces that all worked like perfectly together, and they all did their own. Did you say JJ?
Oh my
gosh. Man, they all had. He constructs teams that are cohesively working well together, and they just play ball. It's fun to watch.
I just feel like, as far as like the 2000s go, even. Mm-hmm. I feel like he's got to be up there on like some of the best coaches of the 2000s. I don't want to hear shit about Doc Rivers. Okay,
no, I wouldn't say Doc Rivers. The only person I
like Popovich,
hold high is Pop. Yeah,
Popovich, Steve Kerr,
Spoelstra. You can probably put up there.
Like you can put those guys in
made
there.
Great team out of.
But I just feel like right now Carlisle is kind of that guy that's the best.
Yeah,
I like Dagnall. I do like Chris Finch. I do like those guys quite a bit. But Carlisle has adjusted. This team has adjusted against the Knicks to counter everything, all of their insecurities as a team, and has exploited them.
Well, to get NBA stars to play basketball the way that I think fundamentally is just correct, and actually have team basketball and all your guys are actually contributing, that's impressive.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
So this is less of a, like, the Knicks are in trouble, which, I mean, I guess we can get to, like, what do the Knicks do if they lose this? kind of a thing, but like it's just
Panic.
It's more of like a Pacers celebration.
It is.
Yeah.
I would agree with you.
Knicks, you're kind of stuck.
Well, the thing is, I think
What do they do if
we're
they don't make
hitting
it?
an era though that like the playoffs are kind of open for whoever shows up now. Like it's not a one team's going to show up every year, probably. Hopefully,
It's a good way to.
might
It's
be
a really
wrong,
good
but-
way to put it.
The Knicks have no financial flexibility. They have no trade
Yeah,
assets.
the
They
money
are stuck.
changes things a lot. Yes,
Which
but
I would say you made the Eastern Conference Finals.
I'm
Run
just
it
saying
back.
if you want
Go
to
for
like
it.
Yeah, run it back.
bank on like bring this team back as much as you can and maybe make some small adjustments. I'm just saying like this isn't a lockdown position. It's not like the Pacers are guaranteed to win year after year after year.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Not with the state of the East.
Yeah,
No, not at all.
exactly.
No, I just think it's so. It'll be so interesting next year. Obviously, with the Celtics kind of in flux with Tatum's injury.
Yep.
Who knows what's going to happen with Giannis? Maybe Giannis is traded out of the East to the West.
Yeah.
The Heat are pretty much out of this thing. The Nets are up and coming. The Hawks are up and coming. Like you have let's see what Cleveland does. Maybe Detroit takes a massive step.
Yeah.
Maybe our beloved Magic finally get their head out of their asses
True.
and actually make an attempt at scoring a basket next year.
See what San Antonio does.
But that East might be
Well,
so
that's west.
far
Oh, yeah,
open
you're right. East, yes.
that Indiana looks at this and says, God, we have a real opportunity here to run the East for a couple years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we pull the trigger on something.
I think they could definitely
Or
make
stand
it to
pat.
where they are right now.
Who would you
Whether they
bring
make the
in
finals
to
is a whole
fit with
nother
that
jump.
group, though? Man, that group just clicks. Like, you can just see out there, like, they don't get mad at each other. Like, if something happens, they all get back on defense. They turn, I don't know. Who would you add into that group that won't disrupt that and will still add value?
I mean, another person you could chase that we were talking about earlier was Drew Holiday. Like you could pull in someone like that. That kind of.
He's too perfect. You can't.
And just
I
play-
didn't say it wouldn't be
just play
unfair.
defense.
I'm just
honest to
saying,
God,
like,
it's too perfect.
yeah,
It's too perfect for him to be into that starting lineup or whatever, and basically be an upgraded version of Neesmith.
Yeah.
Like, because that's what he would be. And Neesmith is a good player and should absolutely be in that lineup.
Mm-hmm.
But Holiday being a part of that team is like a legit, oh crap, like this might actually be an incredible team.
yeah.
Like if
Neesmith, 16 points per game, 4 rebounds. Yeah, you're right. It's like a.
Or
I don't know if he's scoring
even
that
as much
many,
as I
but
dislike
he's
him
getting
right
more
now,
rebounds and he's getting more steals, I think, Drew Holiday. But yeah, that is a perfect fit.
Here's one that's a little more reasonable without putting Drew Holiday's name in it. And I don't like him right now because of this game that's going on. But Alex Caruso could fit in it. But I don't know why they would ever give him
no,
it wouldn't make sense for them to give him. I'm just saying he could fit.
Kevin Durant in that lineup would be fun.
Oh,
No,
jeez.
stop.
I think that
He would be
breaks
fun.
it. Like,
I think no.
I don't think it prevents them from being a great team, but it doesn't keep the flow the same as what they're doing right now.
I would agree.
We love this
he
team,
needs-
and we can do trade speculation in the offseason
Yeah.
about this group.
Yeah.
Let's keep
We
them all
can.
together. Let's keep the Knicks together. Let's keep the Pacers together.
and run it back.
Let's just give it a shot.
Give it a shot. Let's move on to the West.
We don't have to.
Let's move on to the West. How are you guys feeling?
OKC's a pretty good team.
OKC's a pretty good team.
Did you guys know the
Are they
Thunder
playing
that
someone?
good, huh? Wow, that's
I
nuts.
don't even know if they're playing another
Crazy.
team.
They are currently playing the Timberwolves. Timberwolves are down 3-1 in the Western Conference Finals.
You can go ahead and
Yeah,
chalk that up
it's
to a
just-
4-1 series.
It's going to be a 4-run series.
fourth quarter is about to start here,
Yeah.
and it's
Not pretty.
Before we jump into this game
Put
in
it in
this
kinder
series,
words than you were probably going to go for there.
Wolves Warriors. Recap real quick. What do you guys think of that series?
smacked them.
Smacked them.
Yeah, that was
Warriors or
without
JV
Curry. It was
Smacked his
just,
JV squad,
yeah.
Jimmy Butler not
We
doing
didn't even play
anything when
good,
Curry
though.
went out. We didn't. No,
We
you're
did
right.
not.
We didn't play good, but it just baffled me. We don't need to get into it too far, but Jimmy Butler is supposed to be that guy if Curry's not in there, and he was not that guy.
Oh, he was not that guy, no.
disappeared. He went somewhere.
Buddy Hield was more that guy than
Exactly.
He was not good boy Jimmy.
No.
He was not playoff Jimmy.
Man.
That was bad boy Jimmy.
Ant and Randall both averaged 26 and 25 points respectively in that series.
And
Randall
all of it felt like it
actually
was in the
showed up.
third quarter for Edwards.
And it was a dominant team performance. Yeah, it was an injury to Steph, which definitely changes game plans for both teams. So you don't have to worry about him running around and getting his 30 points. So, yeah, it was a stomping. Thunder's Nuggets. What did we think of that series?
Couldn't believe that it actually went to 7 games,
right?
And felt like the Wolves had a chance. And for the start of the fourth quarter, folks, if you're listening live, Thunder up 88-62.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ouch.
That's
Sorry, we need to have a little dead air in there for it to sink in that the Wolves season is about to come to an end.
It is.
In very embarrassing fashion, but honestly kind of similar fashion to how they lost last year against Dallas in the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah.
So what do we focus on here?
Let's focus on this.
Because we're in the middle of emotions at the moment.
We are.
I don't want to yell.
Let's do
Turnovers
this.
are insane right now.
So we don't need to jump to Thunder's Nuggets. We're all surprised that it went 7 games though.
Oh, shocked.
Yeah.
Couldn't believe it.
That was a good series. It was fun to watch. We're gonna get right into it. Thunder Wolves. What have you guys liked? What have you not liked? Yell. Go.
We liked Game 3.
Yeah. Do what you need to do. I
else.
wanna hear your guys' opinions here.
The Thunder have what the Wolves don't, and that is discipline and consistency.
Yes, I 100% agree.
They know that they can rely on guys the way that the Wolves just cannot.
Yep.
The Thunder will go out there and have multiple guys making an impact on a play, and they
on both sides of the court.
On both sides. And you don't feel that with the Wolves.
And even if someone's having an off game, there's always someone to pick up on their team. And even if someone's having an off game, they find a way to contribute. I feel like we do not have that. We have, if you're having an off game, let's force something stupid.
Just McDaniels will get hot. Like, he has been the one that's been taking like the first couple shots of the game and has been making them. And then you just completely forget about him on offense.
Yeah.
Nas is 3 for 17
we could
from
move
3 this series.
on,
and has had some of the most egregious turnovers in this game that I can't even. I love, as I said off mic, Nas's baby girl, but that baby girl is not playing well. Dante has been a defensive liability. I know in Game 4 he had a great shooting night, even though we even though we lost.
For most of the games, he hasn't been too great offensively either.
Ant will put his head down on like 3 or 4 drives and then take one of the most egregious 3-point shots you've ever seen.
Or like 6 of those in a row.
Or early in the shot clock. And you'll just be like, what's going on, man? Like, you had this all dialed in. I know he scored over 30 in games 2 and 3, and it was less than 20 in 1 and 4.
Is it just me, or does it always feel like as soon as it looks like he's figured it out, all of a sudden he just immediately is like, let's not do this anymore.
Yeah. He bails. And Julius Randle, man.
No.
Where do we begin?
The roller coaster with him has been, I didn't like the trade because I didn't believe in him. The offensive flow for this team to start the year was awful, and Randle was a problem with it. Randle was out. The team started finding success. Randle came back. They found even more success. Randle was huge against the Lakers, and he was huge against the Warriors.
Yep.
This series, he is unplayable.
He's reversed all the way back to what we were mad about.
He is.
You said it right there. He's unplayable. Like he's at the point right now where he is. They're playing 4-on-5.
He's such a liability, and we need him so bad to be an offensive playmaker because we don't have it from anybody else right now.
Yeah, no. We
have no offensive rhythm, no flow. Mike Conley, unplayable as well. Sorry, Mike, time to retire, my man.
Yeah.
NAW, Dante, like these guys
we
can't
have to
play
play him
that
too
way.
because nobody can dribble up the court.
No, and Finch has locked down this rotation to be 8 guys. Might stretch it to 9 with Terrence Shannon every once in a while, but he doesn't like doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And this is just the difference between a team like the Thunder and I'll even say the Pacers, because the Pacers and the Wolves are on similar trajectories right now, just from recency. Small town markets, they have big. I guess you could call Haliburton a big name now.
Mm-hmm.
Big names as their stars. They've made back-to-back conference finals,
mm-hmm.
but the Pacers made the leap, and the Timberwolves did not.
Well, the Pacers have the pieces they need. We have some missing components.
But the Pacers became a team with cohesiveness.
Yes.
And the Timberwolves decided to make a trade that completely changed the dynamic of their team. Now, we are in the Western Conference Finals, okay?
Yeah.
I got that. However, we are going out the same way we went out last year. And I should be happy. I should be happy as a Timberwolves fan, right?
No.
We've made the conference finals in back-to-back years. Never happened before in the franchise history. We got Ant. We got the future. We got somebody who will be a top 5 player and I think an MVP someday.
Yeah, for sure. Some people are saying the face of the NBA.
But if you look at the way that the Thunder play, it just makes you wish that the Timberwolves had 25% of their energy, their belief in their system to run actual fucking plays. Excuse me on that F word.
Yeah.
But it's so crazy to watch the way the Timberwolves chuck threes.
Yep.
And the Thunder just rip you apart.
Speaking of
defensively and offensively.
The chuck threes things, what happened from last series to this series? They're just...
Last series we chucked threes too.
They made them.
It wasn't even we made them.
And they were playing the Warriors. But
it was
still.
literally the third quarter is the only reason we won those games, and we weren't even playing a healthy Warriors. They weren't even a relevant component.
Were the amount of threes about the same? I haven't looked at that stat, but they were chucking last series too.
They shoot a lot of threes.
It seemed like they were getting to the hole a lot easier. Ant was finishing at the rim. Rudy was doing some stuff at the rim.
No, for half of those
But you can still do that with a very good basketball team. Get downhill.
I agree. Go pick up some fouls and do exactly what SGA is doing to us.
Granted, the first 5 minutes of this game tonight, Ant was getting downhill and finding
wide open threes
that we were missing. So that's a different story. But you have.
But then he shies away from it, and he starts jacking up worse shots.
Logo threes with 20 seconds on the shot clock.
They bail because it didn't work once. And then they're going to chuck it again.
Yeah.
Where, again, you see on the Thunder side of things. And look, I picked the Thunder to win the series. I picked the Thunder to win the championship.
You have them winning it all, yeah.
Before the season started, I thought Thunder Celtics were going to be those last couple teams.
Mm-hmm.
I do think the Thunder still have that opportunity to be almost like a dynasty-esque group since they have such young guys and they can play together. But, the Thunder Big Three of Chet, SGA, and Jalen are averaging 70 points per game in this series.
I mean, it's also, like you said, though, it's just the discipline and consistency that they have.
They know what their team is.
Yeah.
They know what their team is. They've all bought in. And they get down. I almost said downfield, like they're wide receivers.
Hey, football's coming up. Wait. Yeah.
They actually get into the paint. They muck it up, and then they kick.
Yeah.
Or they go for it. And look, everybody can make the free throw merchant, make fun of SGA kind of thing, whatever. But he's actually trying to get to the rim.
And that's what happens when you try to get to the rim.
You get free throw attempts.
You draw contact, and you get free throw attempts.
He does get some ridiculous ones.
Some of them in game 3?
Game 1 and 2 were the ones with 3 and 4, I thought the calls were fine.
Okay, yeah. It was one or two where some of them you just turn your head and you're just like, I don't know about that. But yeah, that's what happens when you drive the basketball to the rim. Again, another 34 points tonight, 14 of 25.
I just think a team that I've been very impressed with, and a Thunder team that I thought underperformed last year against Dallas and got absolutely whooped by that Luka team. Come back this year. They only add Hartenstein, Alex Caruso to this group, and it's completely elevated them over the hump.
Mm-hmm.
They're over the hump. How do the Wolves get over the hump?
I do think we need a ball handler. I don't think we have anyone who can bring it up and be safe with the ball. Right now, we got way too many turnovers because we're a mess. Nobody's managing this team at all.
Right now, Randall's the one that's carrying the ball up the court and initiating the offense, which I think is a horrible idea.
It's turnover central.
Yeah.
Can we not get Tyus Jones on this team?
That's what I said earlier.
Yeah, when did you say that?
I don't know. It was a few weeks ago.
I will buy his plane ticket.
I think
I'll pay first month's rent on
He would be a perfect fit.
What in the world?
He would be a perfect fit.
How can we not get... Do the Andre Millers of the world not exist in this NBA
The assist-to-turnover ratio king.
Just somebody that can dribble the ball and is not 38 years old
he
like
can
Mike
play
Conley.
I mean, his size is a disadvantage, but he can play all right defense.
I'm getting upset again.
He can play he can play the defense he needs to play. Yes.
Yeah.
It just like, how are there not ball handlers?
Can we have Drew Holiday?
Who gets the Timberwolves over the hump?
Honestly, like a Drew Holiday.
Okay.
Like he would. Or maybe if instead of drafting Dillingham and Terrence Shannon, we actually draft somebody that is a ball handler, distributor, not a score first guard.
That's what we need really badly right now.
But no, we wasted our 2 first-round picks on those 2 guys. And I like Rob Dillingham, and I do like Terrence Shannon.
I remember you mentioning both of them when the draft happened last year.
But they are complete defensive liabilities, and Dillingham can't even play in the playoffs.
Yeah, I would like a
They're
ball
bringing
handler
Shannon in because he is unadulterated, does not care. He's getting shots off. Doesn't matter. He is J.R. Smith.
I love it.
With less tattoos.
I would love for a distributor with some defense. That would be the best thing we could get right now, I think.
Something that can actually get an offense together.
Yeah.
Which is a crazy thing to request. It's a crazy thing to be like, boy,
until you watch how many times we've come down and he immediately turned over the ball.
Boy, I wish my favorite team could actually run an offensive step.
Yeah.
Run an elbow play. Do something. Like, by God.
They're playing 4th grade basketball on the offensive end. Why don't they just put in 4th grade plays? Like flash to the high post, do a back door cut, set an away screen,
it
see
would
what
probably
happens.
help.
Maybe this can be a bit of a
backdoor cut. They don't do that. You got to stand on the 3-point line all day.
Cut.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. There's too much room on the floor.
Is Dwayne Wade out there? No, sir. But
that's who Edwards has to work with, by the way.
I wanna flip it a little bit.
In the summer, you saying?
Yeah, he needs that 2 fadeaway bank shot.
Okay.
Who
are you flipping
3,
it to?
Screw this 3.
I want to flip it to a positive.
Okay.
And this is a big like maybe
what
kind of situation.
So it's a maybe positive.
Y'all are familiar with The Last Dance.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe Ant has to go through his Detroit Pistons phase to get over the hump.
Oh.
Maybe
we'll get Scottie Pippen in the
maybe
next year.
maybe we'll get Scottie Pippen and Dennis Rodman.
Scottie Pippen's son.
Maybe we'll get like the best like of their generation.
Oh my god.
No, but like I remember like Jordan had to get over that hump of those Detroit teams that were so physical, so good, but team oriented.
Mm-hmm.
Isaiah Thomas obviously was their big player on their team, but like he had to get over that hump, and it took many years. People act like Michael Jordan came into the league, made the finals 6 times, never lost, and then that was it. It took a while to lead up to that moment.
Yeah.
Was
he drafted in 81 and he won his first one? No. 85 he was drafted.
And then
first
won
one was
in
91. He won 91.
Oh, 91, yeah, 91, 2, 93.
90, 91, 92, wasn't it? Or was it 91, 92, 93?
Whatever.
Doesn't matter. Keep going. Sorry.
Not my goat.
No,
but
me.
anyways,
Same.
Aside. But just maybe that is the progression that has to happen here.
Yeah.
Now, again, the Bulls had hired Phil Jackson as their coach.
Mm-hmm.
Scottie Pippen
So
came
you're saying
came
we're
into
missing
his own.
Steve Kerr.
Dennis Rodman joined the team. So, like, it is very different from...
We need to pull
like
Brad
what it could be.
Stevens.
Brad Stevens has the best job in basketball right now.
Of operations.
No, I just think if the Wolves are in an interesting financial position, they have gotten rid of a lot of their draft capital. They're going to have an ownership change, and I don't think that they're going to want to go into the luxury tax all that much. Rudy Gobert, unfortunately, backloaded his contract, so you're going to have to pay him because nobody else is going to pay him that if you try to trade or release him. So go ahead and chalk that one up. I'm not Rudy's agent, but I'll go ahead and give him that advice. You have the ability to lose Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Mike Conley, and Naz Reid next year because of their deals. You could be scratching the bottom of the barrel. Plus, add in Ant will be eligible for a Supermax in a few years.
Yeah.
Which means he is probably going to be like a 65 to 70 a year million man.
That's nuts.
So, take all of that in context. Julius Randle has a player option. Go ahead and report that, Trevor. Is he going to pick that up?
Oh, yeah.
He's picking that up.
He's picking that after these last 2 games? Yes, he's picking that up.
That's very unfortunate.
And like they're going to have to run it back. So we're talking about Knicks, Pacers. They're going to have to run it back. Honestly, all 4 of these teams, run it back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Run it back. Don't try to mess with it. You got to go for it.
I can see the same kind of
problem is,
outcome next year too. If these teams
we're
run
gonna
it back
have the
and then
exact
maybe
same thing.
add one. I don't know if Oklahoma City needs to add any pieces. You got a question on here. What's the team's ceiling? I don't know what they need to add. Timberwolves need a piece. Indiana, what we said they might need to have a piece. New York is kind of stuck where they're at, but it's gonna be interesting.
I think let's go back to Thunder and maybe we can finish with the Wolves here.
Okay.
This Thunder team is really set up for success long term. Now, they're going to have an interesting quandary on their hands when they have to pay both Chet and Jalen Williams at the same time because they are in the same draft class, and Jalen Williams is going to make an All-Pro team this year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he will be Supermax eligible then. Chet is not going to be Supermax eligible, but could be max eligible because he has not made an All-Pro team.
Is that what it is? You just have to make an All-Pro team?
Yes, and awards and like that.
Okay,
kind of
gotcha.
stuff.
I was always wondering like the max deal, super max deal, like all that stuff. It's just okay. I gotcha.
So very soon they're going to have to pay SGA, Jalen, and Chet.
Mm-hmm.
So this ride won't last that long because
There goes your dynasty.
financially they might not be able to sustain it unless the Oklahoma City owners, and I don't really know them personally, are fine with paying into the luxury tax.
And that's the first apron stuff that you've touched on before? Okay.
So Lou Dort, Wiggins, Hartenstein, like a lot of those role player guys,
Yeah.
probably not going to be back with the team in 2 years.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this is their window and they can maximize it. I think they can make it work, but I think their run is going to be short.
I think they still have a tough challenge in the West. They definitely will be probably the favorites for all those years, but that doesn't mean that they get a freebie to get in.
No, I
they
think
also have more first-round draft picks coming up, too, in the next, 4 years?
Yes.
Right?
like the next 40 years. Yeah.
Well, that's what I
Yes.
mean. So, like,
They have draft capital.
they have these
Yeah.
potential
Yes.
first-round picks that they can bring in and groom,
You're right.
not pay them anything, and then continue
Yep.
to do this stuff.
They can. If
one of these teams built correctly.
if they don't feel like they have to make that urgency push, that crap, we just lost the finals, we have to be desperate.
Yeah.
We're going to package these 4 picks that aren't even ours.
Oh, Matt's
and we're
saying
gonna trade
the
for
Pacers are
somebody.
winning the finals. That's what I heard.
No, I'm just saying. Like, if the Thunder feel that way, and they're like, crap, we have to make a move. Because we have that small window,
Mm-hmm.
which they've done before with James Harden. And
Yeah.
they traded him to Houston
Mm-hmm.
so that they could pay Serge Ibaka. That was a real thing that happened
Yeah.
with Sam Presti, the GM of the Thunder. Now, I'm positive they learned from that experience
Oh, yeah.
and decided against it.
That guy. No, that's Timberwolves basketball of
But
operations.
just in general, people who want to get into basketball, and glad you're listening to the podcast because that's what we talk about 90% of the time. Like, watch this Thunder team, watch this Pacers team in the finals. You're gonna learn stuff, and it's gonna be really exciting.
Yeah.
Now on the flip side for the Wolves,
Don't watch them.
They
You'll learn
need-
what not to do.
they need some sort of exorcism to get rid of these demons and not start off slow like they did next year.
Yeah.
I think hold it down. And a summer off after playing in the Olympics. Maybe this was too much of activity for him. Maybe invest in some condoms for himself as well. Maybe have some well-being, mental health stuff for himself.
Did you see Kendrick Perkins' thing of
No.
saying that all the greatest players were family men? I'm like, what?
That's not.
I don't know what their relevance
I didn't
is.
see
of
that.
that.
That's not ant here. But yeah, so just in general, we should be grateful the Wolves made back-to-back conference finals. The way they're going out is like chumps. That's the nicest way I
Yeah.
can put it. That's the best I can do.
Yeah.
All right.
Pessimistic Wolves fan. Still not here.
Matt, finals prediction. You sticking with the Thunder?
Give me Thunder in 6.
Thunder in 6 against
Pacers.
'Kay.
Yeah, Pacers.
Trevor?
I have to still pick the Thunder, but I really hope the Pacers win.
I am going with Indiana in 7.
Oh.
Ooh, that'd be a fun series.
I'm going with Indiana in 7.
Are they going to make close games, or are we going to see like 30 points by one team
I
and 30 by
think-
the other?
They're all going to be blowouts.
I think there's going to be 2 blowouts in the series. getting used to the
both ways or just one team?
No, both ways. One
Okay.
team's going to blow out one team, the other team's going to blow out, and then I think they're actually going to be close. But I have Indiana in 7. Keep that championship in the Eastern Conference.
That's a good point, though. You should pick how many games does it take OKC to win?
He did. He said 6.
Oh, you did say?
Yeah.
Okay. I was thinking 6 probably as well.
Would you like to put a friendly wager on this?
Yeah. What do we want to put? Do we have to keep it in the Hams realm? Still not a sponsor.
Well, not
I've been
a sponsor.
shouting them out like crazy.
And it's just really unfortunate. And I know Mr. Hams is listening right now. Mr. Hams, give us some money. What should we put on it? Maybe a round of golf?
No, there you go.
A bottle of whiskey?
I was gonna say whiskey. I was like High West or something like in the cheaper range.
I was gonna say, well, let's not get insane here. I really don't, because Sam was already mad that I had to give DJ a couple 6-packs. So after our Lakers Timberwolves bet, how about a nice bottle of bourbon?
Bottle of bourbon.
Sure.
Okay.
We'll talk specific prices off mic.
Deal.
The people don't need to hear that.
Bottle of bourbon. I liked your golf. I liked your
Then
golf
they won't know
one.
who needs to be a sponsor.
Yeah.
Whoever we buy.
So are you
gonna sponsor us,
jumping
right?
in on this?
Yeah, sure.
So it's me against you two.
Yeah, you're gonna owe us 2 bottles of whiskey.
Bring it on.
bourbon.
Okay, he says bring it on. Perfect. You heard it here, folks.
I mean, he gets 2 bottles of bourbon.
That's
He does get 2 bottles of bourbon to add to his collection.
That's what I mean.
And then the sad thing is he won't even drink them.
No.
He'll just have it collected with
No,
all of his
no,
other
no.
ones getting dusty.
I'm just going to
Well-
come here and I'm just going to drink him while he's
Exactly.
watching.
I'm just gonna put him down here, or when the new podcast room gets done, we'll just have a. We'll have
Yeah,
a.
you're gonna have a glass of bourbon every time we have a podcast.
I could.
You're never going to get through it all.
No,
This is
never.
the same thing that I explained to my stepdad with all of his alcohol.
Never.
I was like, you'll die before you drink all that.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, yeah.
Especially the
I have
stuff
too
he
much.
has. Yeah, he
Shout
has
out
a
Trevor.
lot.
I don't think he's ever listened to a podcast before, but
No.
I mean, if he
Yeah.
needs help, we know some people.
I'm doing my best.
They're all sitting right here.
I'm doing my best.
Man, that's good stuff. I love it. I'm not gonna sign off yet. You have to do the news thing.
You want this in the front?
We can do it in the back. Do you want to do it in the back?
It might be a fun.
We're not gonna
Here's
do
your
it.
little-
We're not gonna do it in the back, but we're.
Here's your little clip to put at the beginning. You want to do it in the front?
Yeah,
no,
you
we're
wanna
gonna do it in the
yeah,
back.
yeah.
We're going
back.
front or back? Front or back? What are you talking about?
So I want to pitch a possible segment here. Now, no bad ideas in the brainstorming workshop, right, fellas?
No bad idea.
Sure.
Just like there's no
let's
such
hear
thing as a
the
bad
idea
question.
No bad ideas.
No bad ideas.
We're just gonna feel it out. We're gonna see how it goes here. Timberwolves are down by like 40. Let's get a little punchy. So this and people can let me know what would be a good name for the segment. I was thinking like news story of the day or like Twitter personality of the week or like something along those lines. Because a story came across my desk today that I have to share. I have to share because it's so unbelievably wonderful, and I just want to know what you guys think about it. It's a very brief story.
Okay.
So there was a woman on Twitter today. I'm not going to say her name because it's pretty disrespectful, even though she attached her name to this. In a video, proclaimed that her ex-boyfriend gave her E. coli.
Okay.
How did she get E. coli, you ask? And this is E. coli over a 7-year period. She has had sinus infections, so many different kind of health concerns.
Yeah, I don't know where this is going.
Everything like that.
Have a guess.
Apparently, what happened to this woman was when she was recovering from a surgery, her ex-boyfriend farted in her face.
I wasn't completely accurate, but I was thinking it was close to
bare booty
this.
fart.
I wasn't thinking fart. I was thinking something else.
I was as well.
Bare booty fart into her face. And they have found actual fragments of
So basically, what I was thinking,
fecal matter in her sinuses,
He's basically
causing E.
crapped
coli.
it.
Oh my.
And she said with a straight face, it was one of the worst smelling farts that she's ever smelled. And no doubt because she's got literal poop in her sinuses. And I
Do you
just
think that fart stayed
Right
there
after
for
a
7
surgery?
years?
after surgery, so her body was already
No.
fighting something else, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So she's recovering, and her boyfriend, bare booty in the face, fart. And I just think, do you guys ever think about the power that we have as humans? We could wreck someone's nervous system with one fart. We could destroy someone's bodily functions.
You can destroy someone's life with one fart.
With one fart. And
Matt,
don't you think we should be more responsible with our farts because of it?
Matt, I've never thought about it that way. But yeah, we got some power.
Is it not an interesting news story?
That
came right across my desk.
So my next question...
Funniest goddamn thing I've seen in so long.
My next question for you is, who are you following on Twitter?
It just pops up, man. Elon, his government service is over. He's turning his view back to Twitter to make it even worse than it already is.
Oh, my God.
And this just pops across my feed. And just think about that power. Like, that's almost like superhero quality fart.
Yeah.
Or supervillain. Maybe this is the supervillain origin story.
Who would you call that supervillain?
Mr. Fart. Instead of Mr. Fantastic. Mr. Fart.
Oh my gosh.
Like, something just never ceased to amaze me.
I mean, you have to have this in your body before your fart becomes this powerful.
I'm sorry, but just imagine.
There are so many other questions that are going through my head.
Just imagine having to explain that to somebody.
Imagine.
Well, I mean, and doing it on Twitter.
And videotaping yourself. Taping yourself and putting it out there.
Wait, this was a video?
Oh, this was a video of a woman talking about it.
Oh, I thought you saw the
she
video
was talking
of
about it.
The dude farting in the girl's face.
Oh my God, I would pay an insane amount of money to be able to see that. No, unfortunately not.
You might have to log into Only Farts and you might find it.
Only Farts. Ooh. Man. Lose a lot of money on Only Farts.
My gosh.
Look, so that was just the story of the day that crossed my desk.
I love it.
I put it right on the front page. I think it's really important. And you know what? It made me a lot happier recounting it after the Timberwolves lost.
Well, I was going to say, that does make me happier now that we're seeing all
That's
the
good.
celebration for OKC.
That is such a good way to end the podcast with a classic Twitter story where I don't even know who you're following.
I mean, listen, just people let us know. Any other crazy news stories?
Yeah, if you have any crazy
them across
news,
the desk, man. Let me take a look.
Slide into the DMs of Matthew Lambert. He might.
Don't slide in my DMs. My wife will be very upset about that. Don't slide in my DMs.
Even if it's a crazy story?
If it's a crazy story, do it, but don't send me anything else, you sickos.
They're going to be sending the videos of them doing this fart.
Wait, we reenacted that. Do I got E. coli now? Oh, man, we need to get off. On that note, thank you so much for watching. Episode 28 is in the books. It is official. The Oklahoma City Thunder are moving on to the NBA Finals. Will they win it? Matt and Trevor think so. I would get my bottle of bourbon in the next couple weeks, maybe. How long do the finals even go on? When do they start? Next week?
June 5th, it said, right?
6th.
6th.
Got you. June 6th. So we look forward to that. We'll bring you some more information on that when we get there. Thank you so much for watching. All platforms you can listen to the podcast. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Again, share with whoever you want. And slide into Matt's DMs. You'll enjoy that. Peace.